The fire alarm incident. It was supposed to be a harmless prank. During lunch, my friend dared me to pull the fire alarm, claiming it won't actually work. Turns out it did. The entire school evacuated, sirens blared, and within minutes, the fire department arrived. I tried blending in with the crowd, but security cameras caught everything. The principal called me to his office, where I sat sweating as he lectured me about safety violations. My parents were called, and I was suspended for a week. Worse than the punishment was the disappointment in my dad's voice when he asked, "What were you thinking?" The worst part? Everyone at school thought I was a legend. But to this day, whenever I hear a fire alarm, I get flashbacks of that moment of panic, realizing that some dares are better left unaccepted. The fake sick note. I thought I had mastered my mom's handwriting. I wasn't feeling like taking a math test, so I wrote a fake sick note and handed it to my teacher, hoping she wouldn't question it. At first it worked. I sat in the library, smugly avoiding equations and formulas, but my teacher had suspicions and called my mom to confirm. When I got home, my mom was waiting at the door, holding my note with a raised eyebrow. Care to explain this? My punishment was worse than detention. She made me practice handwriting for hours to show how obvious my forgery was. At school, my teacher made me take the test anyway, after a long lecture about honesty. I failed miserably. The irony? If I had just taken it on time, I probably would have passed. The lunchroom food fight. It started with a single French fry. One of my friends playfully tossed it at another, who retaliated with mashed potatoes. Before I knew it, the cafeteria exploded into chaos. Pizza slices flying, ketchup splattering walls, kids diving under tables. I tried ducking out of the way, but just as a meatball whizzed past, the principal stormed in. Silence fell, his eyes locked onto me, holding a tray loaded with food. Office, now. I hadn't even thrown anything, but I was guilty by association. In detention, I sat with my actual food fight accomplices, who found the whole thing hilarious. The janitor shot us dirty looks as he mopped up the mess. That day, I learned an important lesson. If chaos breaks out, drop the tray and run before you get blamed for everything. The unauthorized field trip escape. Our school trip was supposed to be educational, but my friends and I had a better idea. While the class was busy looking at old artifacts in the museum, we accidentally wandered off and found ourselves in a nearby arcade. Everything was great. Flashing lights, loud music, and even free tokens from a friendly cashier. But our fun didn't last long. Suddenly, we spotted our teacher at the entrance. Arms crossed, eyes filled with rage. She marched us back to the museum without a word. The principal wasn't impressed with our excuse about independent exploration and banned us from the next 2 field trips. The worst part wasn't the punishment. It was our classmates who never let us forget the incident. For months, they called us the Great Explorers. Honestly, though, that arcade trip was totally worth it. The chewing gum heist. Chewing gum was banned at our school, which only made it more valuable. Seeing an opportunity, I started selling packs straight from my backpack. Business was booming, students were eager to buy, and I even had a supply chain. One friend handled payments, another delivered the gum. It was foolproof, until one day I made a fatal mistake, completing a deal in plain sight of a teacher. He grabbed my hand mid-transaction and marched me straight to the principal. There, I was interrogated like a hardened criminal. I had to return all my earnings, and worse, I got detention for 2 weeks. But the real disappointment? My customers were mad at me for getting caught. After that, I shut down my operation. However, I realized something important. I had an entrepreneurial spirit. I just needed a legal business. The science experiment gone wrong. I always loved chemistry, but one day my curiosity went too far. During a lab session, I had a theory that if I mixed 3 different reagents, I'd create a cool color-changing effect. I was wrong. Instead of a harmless reaction, I got a small explosion. Smoke filled the classroom, and my teacher nearly fell off her chair. She instantly knew who was responsible, and I was sent straight to the principal's office. He didn't share my scientific enthusiasm. As punishment, I had to clean the chemistry lab for a week and was banned from handling any chemicals for the rest of the year. The worst part? I had to write a detailed report explaining why my experiment was dangerous. To this day, whenever I see a test tube, I feel a little nervous. Would I do it again? Absolutely, but this time with safety goggles. The time I outsmarted myself. I thought I had the perfect system for passing notes in class. Texting under my desk instead of using paper. Genius, right? Nope. My teacher had been watching me for weeks and was just waiting for the right moment. That moment came when she suddenly walked up, snatched my phone, and read my text aloud. The worst part? I had just complained about how boring her lesson was and how she never notices anything. The class erupted in laughter, but I wasn't laughing when she sent me to the principal's office. My phone was confiscated for a week, my parents got a call, and I had to write a 5-page essay on the importance of paying attention. The irony? While writing it, I realized that if I had actually listened to the lesson, I wouldn't have been in trouble in the first place. The accidental school-wide email. It all started as an innocent mistake. I meant to send my friend a funny meme, but instead, I accidentally emailed it to the entire school. Yes, every student, every teacher, even the principal. And what was the meme? A poorly edited picture of the principal's face on a superhero's body flying over the city. My phone blew up with messages, and my classmates couldn't stop laughing. But the fun ended fast when my name was called over the loudspeaker. Please report to the principal's office immediately. He was not amused. After a long lecture on responsible technology use, I got banned from school computers for a week and had to write a formal apology. The worst part? That meme became legendary. Even years later, people still remember it. Now, before hitting send, I always triple check the recipient. Lesson learned. The day I took over the intercom, I found an open office door where the school intercom was left unattended. The temptation was too strong. I grabbed the microphone and quickly announced, "Attention, students! All classes are canceled today." The hallways exploded with cheers. Papers flew in the air, students celebrated. But my moment of glory was short-lived. Within seconds, a furious teacher appeared in the doorway. I was dragged straight to the principal, who was less than thrilled with my public announcement. My parents got a call. I was suspended for 3 days, and worst of all, I had to apologize to the entire school. Adding insult to injury, 5 minutes later, the administration officially announced that classes were not canceled. My chance to create ultimate chaos was ruined. If I had just 5 more minutes, who knows what could have happened?